like to welcome everybody to the Town of Babylon Zoning Board of Appeals. Please listen to the rules and procedures that will follow for tonight's meeting.
Good evening, and welcome to tonight's meeting of the Town of Babylon Zoning Board of Appeals. The following is the procedure that will be followed tonight. The matters will be called in the order they appear on the calendar, with adjourned matters being called at the end of the regularly scheduled matters. Matters cannot be heard prior to their published scheduled time. When your matter is called, please submit the affidavit of posting to the secretary and proceed to the podium and give your name and address. The chairperson will then swear you in and read into the record information we have from your application, comments from various town departments, and any correspondence received on your application. The chairperson will then ask you to make whatever presentation you wish to make to the board. After you have made your presentation, the board will ask whatever questions the board deems appropriate, and then we will ask for comments from the public. If you wish to speak for or against an application, we ask that you wait until you're acknowledged. Come forward, give us your name and address, tell us where your property is in relation to the property that's in question tonight, and then please direct your comments to the board, not the applicant or the applicant's representative. We have to keep a record, and we cannot do that if there are people talking over each other or cross conversations. If someone has spoken for or against an application, and they have said exactly the same thing that you wish to say, it will have the same force and effect in the record if you give your name and address, are sworn in, and say that you join in those comments. If you have anything additional to say, please don't hesitate to do so, but keep in mind that you will be given only one opportunity to speak. After the public has spoken, the board may ask the applicant to come back to answer any questions that may have come up as a result of the public comments, or for the applicant to summarize. When the applicant comes back to answer any additional questions, if that happens, that does not start a second round of public comments. Once the matter has been heard, various things may occur. The board may decide the application immediately. It may reserve decision. If the board reserves decision, that does not mean the matter is approved or denied. It just means that the board needs more time to decide, may want to go out and look at the site again, or might want to review the documents and testimony further before making a decision. In either event, the applicant will receive the board's decision in writing shortly after the board makes its decision. If the application is approved, that does not mean that you can then go ahead and start construction or whatever it is that you requested from the board. You will have to wait for the building permit to be obtained from the building department before your go-ahead. On some occasions, the matter may be continued for another night. If it is continued, in most cases it will be for the submission of documents, a new survey, new plans, or something of that nature. If that's the case, no one needs to come back on the new date. The documents will be submitted and no further testimony will be taken. On rare occasions, a matter may be continued for future testimony. If that's the case, then people would have to come back to testify. If matters are adjourned at an open meeting on the scheduled date of hearing, no further notice need be given unless specifically required by the board on the date the adjournment is granted. 3 rules that may affect your ability to proceed tonight. 1. If the sign was not posted for 10 days, we cannot hold the hearing tonight. 2. If you commence this proceeding while you own the property, but no longer own the property, and you are here now to continue with the application, you will need either the written consent of the new owner or the new owner to be present for the hearing. This situation could come about if you sold your house or building, money was held in escrow at closing for a certificate of occupancy or permit, and you're here tonight to clear that up. Lastly, if your application is a commercial application and it's other than a renewal, and there is more than one tenant in the building, then you need your landlord to be here. Is there any applicant that has any difficulty with those situations and would need an adjournment tonight?
Is there anyone that would need an adjournment? Please rise and join the board in the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, before we begin, there is one adjournment on our calendar. It's application 25-193. The property is located on Ecker Avenue in West Babylon. Anybody here on that application? It is being adjourned to December the 11th. Also, before we begin, there are a number of applications from Suffolk County Planning. They are all decision of local determination. Take no position for or against. It's Cosmos Service Center, application 25-184. Nassau Financial Federal Credit Union, application 25-186. JDG Repairs, Inc., application 25-187. AQR Development Funding, LLC, application 25-190. Lindenhurst Auto Collision, application 25-191. South Shore Subaru, application 25-192. And lastly, application 1252 Realty, LLC, application 25-205. Okay, first application tonight is application 25-196 of Claudio Rodriguez, property located in Farmingdale. Name and address for the record.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Thomas Bloor, the architect for the project, 60 Carlton Avenue, Suite 202, Islip Terrace, New York, 11752.
Okay, and do you affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated November 5th, 2025, environmental control memo dated November 12th, 2025. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by Lawrence Michael Haynes dated May 12th, 2025, tax map acting as an area map, and
Chairman, there's 4 photographs and a site plan by Thomas Bloor dated July 31st, 2025.
okay. Would you like to tell us about the application? Excuse me.
So the intent of this application is to legalize and maintain the existing second-story addition, which is under construction now. We're requesting the front yard setback of 20.3 feet instead of the required 30 feet, side yard setback on the east side of 5.8 instead of the required 10, and rear yard setback of 26.5 instead of the required 30. My client began construction on 2/7/2025 without the benefit of a building permit. Stop work order was issued on 4/11/25, and then I was hired on 4/25/25 to create the architectural drawings. The second floor is directly in line with the existing first floor, does not encroach into any setback any further than that existing first floor does. The only encroachment is for the front covered portico, which is open to the air, 7 foot 3 inches wide by 4 foot 2 inches deep. And the intent of the project is just a single-family home. They were looking to just purchase this home, remodel it, and put it up for sale. We've reviewed the planning department's comments. We have no issues, and if the board should have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
So, this happened without a permit is my question.
They're knuckleheads. They call me after the fact, and honestly, a bunch of the framing was substandard. They have to do a lot of, thankfully, it's still open framing all on the interior, but they just, their excuse to me was that they bought the house to flip it, and they were renovating the interior, and everything was rotted, so then they said it's not going to be worth the money to sell it this way unless we put the full second floor on. Then you guys issued the stop work order. I came in, so a bunch of the framing was substandard, windows, so I created a full set of plans to bring it in compliance with our code and submit it to the building department.
Okay, so these people do this regularly? Is this something they do?
It's not a repeat client for me. It was a first client, so I don't know.
Okay, just curious. So they do not intend to live in the house?
No, they just intend to put it up for sale. There's no signs of a apartment going anywhere in this house. It's a slab on grade.
Okay, so all right, because they're asking about accessory apartments, but evidently they're not going to live there, and that would
No, they want to finish it and just put it up for sale and sell it as a single-family home.
East side yard from 10 to 5.8. I have no further. Any questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. So basically, we're going straight up here.
Correct, directly in line. Nothing encroaches closer to a setback other than this open front covered portico on the front of the home, which is open to the air, will never be enclosed.
Okay.
It does give it a nicer look, the portico.
All right. So I'll make a motion to approve application 25-196. With, the front porch not being closed. All in favor? Okay.
Thank you.
Next application is application 25-194 of G-Land Lewis Store, property located in Deer Park. Back again?
195, but yes.
195. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Name and address for the record again.
Good evening again. Thomas Bloor, the architect for the project, 60 Carlton Avenue, Suite 202, Islip Terrace, New York, 11752.
And do you affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated November 5th, 2025, Environmental Control memo dated November 12th, 2025. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by Statewide Land Surveying dated July 25th, 2024, tax map acting as an area map, and
Chairman, there's 6 photographs and a site plan by Thomas Bloor dated May 29th, 2025.
what would you like to tell us about this application?
Okay, so the intent of this application is to legalize and maintain an existing shed, gazebo, patio, and a garage conversion. There is a current open accessory apartment application for the existing apartment located on the second floor. The garage conversion is an additional bedroom. That's not an apartment. It's shared by the main first floor. My client purchased the home in March of 2019, and that garage was previously converted by the old homeowner. So she purchased this as is and is coming in trying to get everything legalized. As far as the building area, it's a building area of 35.2% instead of the required 20%. That building area is due to those pavers that were installed in the rear yard. They equal 16.6%, so the building area without the pavers is 18.6%. The pavers are on a sand base. They also have a drain located directly in the center of the paver area, and you have a large, ample grass area to the east of the pavers in the rear yard to allow for adequate drainage. As far as the front street line, we're requesting a distance to the front street line of 4.92 feet instead of the required 40 feet. It's a small vinyl shed, 7 foot 8 inches wide by 8 foot deep and 8.75 feet high. There is a 6 foot PVC fence in front of the shed, and it is barely visible from the street. We did review planning's comments though, and my client has agreed to relocate the shed in line with the front yard setback along Jefferson Avenue, which is approximately 25 feet. We reviewed the planning department comments. We have no issues with the conditions. And to kind of give you like the occupants of the house, the current occupants of the house include my client, Jelaine Lewisdor, her husband. She has 2 sons and a daughter. They live on the main first floor. And then that apartment has 2 of her friends living in it who have a daughter. If the board should have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Okay, thank you. Turn the hearing over to Mr. Montiglio.
Good evening, how are you?
Good evening.
Actually, the main question was the shed being moved to confirming location, and you agreed to that.
Correct.
What, with the apartment right now, is the garage an apartment now?
No, not at all. The garage was never an apartment.
I mean, there's complaints
The
about some parties and some illegal apartment having that right now.
Right, yeah, I understood. This is honestly, I was the architect for the previous owner of this house. When we filed for the accessory apartment on the second floor, that was roughly 2016-17, that garage was a garage. They must have converted it sometime between then and when my client now purchased the house in 2019. I walked the space myself. There's no signs of a kitchen in the garage conversion. It's a single bedroom.
As part of the first floor apartment, or first floor living area?
Yeah, it's connected. It's right off the kitchen. You know, there's a door into that bedroom, but it's off the main kitchen on the house.
And the apartment upstairs is access from the inside?
Yes, so that has access from a stairwell, and then we proposed a second stairwell to go up there. The stairwell that accesses the apartment on the second floor has an existing rear door on the dwelling.
So there is a permit for the apartment upstairs right now, presently?
Pending. And then what happened was my current client, the current owner, must have installed these pavers, bought one of these Costco gazebos, and threw the shed in the back, requiring this variance. So that application is held up because of the variance required for the pavers, shed, and gazebo. I didn't hear that, I'm sorry.
25 feet.
It's up to you guys. If you need, I can quickly sketch that and send you a updated plot plan, sure.
Yeah, I think we'd like that.
Yeah, that's no problem. I can have that to you
Where it's gonna be.
by Friday or Monday.
This way there's no confusion at all.
Yep, understood.
I have no further questions, Chairman.
Any other questions from the board?
So it's my client, her husband, her 2 sons and daughter. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the apartment is a couple with a daughter. Correct. 3 in the apartment, 5 in the main dwelling. Just 1, because technically you can't call the second room a bedroom because it doesn't meet the New York State Code criteria of having a 7-foot dimension. Yes, the second floor has a kitchen in it, yes. There's 2 sets of plans. The building department requests the plans. On the second floor, yes. Prior to 2016. No, the old owner of the house put an application in to legalize that apartment. I guess never closed it out. Yes, yeah. So this owner buys the house, I guess transfers the open application for the apartment into her name, but put the pavers and the shed and the gazebo in the backyard. So that application is pending at the building department if whatever happens with this variance for these rear yard structures, let's call it. And they won't release the apartment or even, issue the permit, I should say, for the apartment until these items that popped up on a more updated survey are addressed. Correct. So we are proposing access from the inside to the second floor with a new staircase. Correct. Yeah, there's a door on the back that takes you to an interior stair that goes directly up to that second floor.
There's no access from that doorway into the main area?
No. No, we have to do a second stair. Next to that is an exterior wall and just a bathroom. There'd be no way.
You need to be able to move throughout the house.
Correct. So that's the proposed stair that's in the front, kind of with the shaded walls around it. Correct. Yeah. Yeah, and to answer your question, it's 4 bedrooms on the first floor.
That includes the garage.
Includes the garage bedroom, yes.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. We're going to close the hearing. We're going to reserve decision. We'll keep the record open for a new plan showing where the shed's going to be moved to, and you'll get the decision in the mail.
Sounds good. Have a great night.
You too, thanks. Next application is application 25197 of Christian Giovanni Duran, Danielle Caitlin Doherty, property located in Farmingdale.
Good evening. How's it going?
Good.
Good, good.
Name and address for the record, please.
My name is Brian Ladino. Address is 555 Broad Hollow Road, Suite 327, Melville, New York, 11747, and I'm the applicant of the application.
Okay. And do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, sir.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated November 5th, 2025. Department of Environmental Control memo dated November 12th, 2025. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. Survey by Thomas Matarazzo dated June 11th, 2025. Tax map acting as an area map, and
Chairman, there's 4 photographs in the site plan by Giuseppe Adaragna dated July 25th, 2025. Also, quick question. What is your name again, for the record?
Brian Ladino. Yes. Is the applicant the homeowner? Okay, so that's the homeowner, but I filed the application. I filed the building permit and the variance application. I'm representing the homeowners, yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay, would you like to tell us about the application?
Yes. Good evening, Chairman and members of the board. We are here seeking relief from certain zoning requirements in connection with our application to construct a second-story addition with a front porch located at our subject property at 24 Hawthorne Street in Farmingdale. The property is located within a residential C zoning district. So under the current zoning regulations, the minimum required setback, front yard setback is 30 feet. Our proposed design provides a front yard setback of 23.45 feet, requiring the variance for the 6.55 feet. Additionally, the building coverage maximum percentage is 30%, and our proposal will result in 33%, along with, we have currently existing pavers that are on the side yard that exceed 0 feet, both side and rear, and with the minimum setback of 2 feet with the pavers. And we are currently here because the homeowners, Kristen Duran and Danielle Doherty, who are currently present with their family, are a growing family who moved to Babylon from Queens seeking a better quality of life and a community to raise their children. When they initially purchased their home, it adequately met their needs as a young family. However, time has passed, their family has expanded. They now have 3 children, and they are expecting a 4th. The proposed second-story addition is intended to provide additional living space necessary for their family comfort and functionality. The front porch is designed to enhance the home's appearance, to contribute to the overall character of the neighborhood, not to diminish it. The design has been carefully considered to remain consistent with the existing homes on the block and to maintain an attractive and cohesive look. Granting this variance will allow the family to continue living in their home while accommodating their growing needs without causing any detriment to the surrounding properties or altering the essential character of the neighborhood. The practical difficulty arises from the limited lot size and existing footprint of the home, which makes it a little challenging to meet the current setback and coverage requirements while achieving reasonable and functional home layout. In conclusion, this request was made in good faith and with respect for the town's zoning intent. The relief is sought as minimal, practical, and consistent with the neighborhood's existing development pattern, and approval of the variance would enable the homeowners to improve the living conditions while maintaining the integrity and appearance of the community.
Okay, thank you. So you're going to square the garage off to the back of the house and then go up?
Correct, yes.
Up across the whole house, including the garage?
Correct.
And you got the planning memo, correct?
Yes, sir.
So can you talk to me about the patio and how that came about, and then can we cut that back 2 feet? We don't usually give 0.
We can, I mean, if that's something that the board would like for us to do, we can definitely, consider that. We do understand that we did meet, when they had done it in the beginning, they didn't really know that they had to meet that setback. Once we had filed the application, it came to our attention. If it is something that we do need to do while we're in construction, it would be something that we'll be willing to do.
So would you be willing to do it? It's going to eliminate 2 of the variances if you can do that back to 2 feet.
Yeah, okay, we can do that.
Okay, I'll make a motion to amend application 25-197 and eliminate the variances 4 and 5. All in favor? Okay. Talk to me about the barking dog.
So the barking dog, would it be okay if I bring the homeowner up to
Absolutely.
talk about that?
Absolutely. Name and address for the record, please. You can
Sorry,
pull
a
that
little
down
short.
there. There you go.
Danielle Doherty, address 24 Hawthorne Street, Farmingdale, New York, 11735.
And do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes,
Okay. Well, could
Good
you tell
evening,
us about
guys.
the dog?
absolutely. It's my dog. He's 9 years old. He unfortunately has a very annoying bark, but I spoke to animal control from the town of Babylon when we received that complaint a couple of months ago, I believe it was. I don't know. Obviously, we don't know who made the phone call. I spoke to my neighbors on the left who have been there since the owners who lived in our home sold us our home. Neighbors on the, looking at this picture, neighbors on the right side of us, to the left over here, neighbors across the street. Everyone has dogs. They understand I'm a stay-at-home mom. I homeschool. So I'm home all day. I wanted the animal control to kind of understand. I don't know where these 8 hours are coming from. Again, I don't know if it's someone who doesn't know my family, doesn't know that, he works, but I don't, so I'm home. If I let my dog out, again, I know they explained to me a period of 15 minutes continuous. If he's barking, there's a lawnmower, there's a squirrel, that's considered a nuisance, and that may be why they called. They also said that I leave the dog out for 8 hours in the rain while I go to work. Again, I'm home, so I'm not sure, again, if this is a neighbor that maybe just doesn't know us, saw the dog barking, it was longer than they liked, and then called for whatever reason. Again, I am not saying that my dog is some Chihuahua or like some Peaches. His voice is very irritating, but however, 8 hours is a little, 2 hours or even an hour is a bit of a,
You're home all the time, and
I'm
basically
home.
you'll let the dog in and out, whatever, go to the
Right, and
bathroom, that kind of stuff.
I have my family, we're growing, and so if I'm stuck diaper changing or putting a baby down and I let him out for a second and it's an emergency and he's out there longer, again, his bark, I think he's the biggest dog on the block. There's other like German Shepherds and stuff like that, but he's pretty big. Unfortunately, I think, thank you. Just want to make sure it's not 8 hours, but thank
That's all I
you.
wanted
Thank
to
you,
know,
guys.
that's all. Thank you. Okay. Any other questions from the board?
If it's possible, could I also hand over some letters to the board? Before we had came here, we had tried going to the neighbors adjacent. We were able to get a couple signatures from the neighbors about this project. We showed them what we were doing, the intent. They were okay with it. I got approximately 3 signatures from the neighbors that I could.
Absolutely. Thank you. Any questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? Record, there are none. Okay, I'm going to make a motion. Additional conditions? The dog block. Oh, okay, yeah, all right, okay, I was gonna do it as amended, but okay, that's fine, yeah. Yeah, okay. I'll make a motion to approve application 25-197, and with the condition that the patios be cut back to 2 feet, and that the building area be recalculated. As amended, yeah. What? Oh, front porch not being closed.
Second.
All in favor? That's just a portico, right, the front porch?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not. It's just gonna be. Yeah, it's not gonna be enclosed.
Okay, all right. Just need a,
So I just have to file amended drawings,
Yep.
just showing that cutback with the GFA updated.
yep,
Beautiful.
all right.
Awesome. I appreciate you guys.
Thanks.
Have a good night.
Good luck. Next applications are application 25-194A of Diego Munoz and Jeline Grimm Munoz. On application 25-194B, 360 Arkansas LLC. Both properties in Amityville. Okay, I'm confused. It's the same.
you have enough?
Yes.
Okay, great. May I begin? Terrific. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Anthony Guardino. I'm a partner with the law firm of Farrell Fritz and Hopog, and I represent both, I guess, applicants. They're co-applicants with this application, 360 Arkansas LLC, and Diego and Jelena Munoz. They each own adjacent parcels. Yes.
No, I just want to read their stuff into the record.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't
It's
think so.
okay, no, that's fine. For the record, we have a planning division memo dated November 5th, 2025, on application A and application B. We have Department of Environmental Control memo dated November 13th, 2025. If we were to approve this application, we would need a negative declaration. Let's see what else we got here. We have surveys on the A application from Francis Watson dated August 7th, 2025. On the B application, also from Francis Watson dated 12/6/23. And then we have an overall by Elizabeth McQuilkin dated September 3rd, 2025. Tax map acting as an area map. And
Chairman, there's 4 photographs.
what would you like to tell us about the
Okay,
application?
great. So the two applicants here, they each own adjacent parcels in North Amityville that were illegally subdivided by the predecessors in interest, Marco and Jamie Mohan. So there was an application made in 2019 involving both of these properties. It predated my involvement, so not much I can say about that, but other than to just give you some of the history. So the Munoz property is located at 92 Parkway Avenue, and the 360 Arkansas parcel is located on the west side of Johnson Street. So I'm here tonight representing Wallix Valson, who's a principal of 360 Arkansas, as well as the Munoz family for the limited purpose of just this application. I only represent them for this, for purposes of tonight's application. So the two parcels are located in the town's Residence B district. They both, the district, of course, permits single-family dwellings on parcels that have at least 10,000 square feet and 80 feet of street frontage. Both of the lots comply with those requirements, at least the lot area requirement, and the Munoz parcel also meets the 80-foot frontage requirement. Unfortunately, the 360 Arkansas parcel only has 63.19 feet of frontage on Johnson Street, so it requires relief from the street frontage requirements. Both lots will require relief from the dimensional requirements of the Residence B district with respect to, or created by the existing dwelling on the north parcel, which is the Munoz parcel, and the proposed dwelling on the south parcel. The northern parcel is currently improved with a single-family dwelling that was constructed in the mid to late 1950s. There was a detached garage, a shed, and above-ground swimming pool with a deck. The southern parcel is currently vacant, but my client intends to, and my client being 360 Arkansas, intends to build a single-family house, a two-story single-family house on that parcel. As I just mentioned earlier, there's a long history here dating back to when a variance application was made in 2019, when the predecessor, the Mohans, owned the property. Unfortunately, none of the parties that are here tonight, Mr. Valson, myself, we weren't present, so I can't really comment on that application other than to just recite the history that I was able to glean from the documents. But I do know that when the Mohans sought variance relief in connection with they sought relief in connection with the two-lot subdivision that was proposed, and in 2020, on February 27th, to be exact, of 2020, which was just weeks before the COVID shutdown, the board granted the requested variance relief for the two parcels that are the subject of this application. Then there were extensions that were granted, again, not requested by me. There were 6 extensions that were granted, I guess, for the Mohans, or to the Mohans, in order to allow the 92 Parkway Avenue parcel to finalize its application and obtain a CO. But apparently, instead of finalizing the application and completing the subdivision, they kind of did like a cut and run, sold the 2 parcels to 2 unsuspecting people. And so they sold to the Munozes and 3060 Arkansas parcels that are not valid building lots because they're not properly subdivided. So it was like half-baked. They got an approval, never finalized it. COVID hit, they couldn't finalize it, whatever. I'm not sure what the reason was, but they sold, and both buyers were unaware of the illegal subdivision. Mr. Valson found out about the illegal subdivision when he met with the planning department and found out that his lot, and of course the Munoz lot to the north, was illegal. He was planning to construct a single-family home. He was advised that, hey, this is not a legal building lot. You need to kind of finish up what the Mohans had started. So he digests the fact that he's got this illegal lot. He calls me. I get involved. I ask for an extension immediately. So that would be the 7th extension, and this board was kind enough to grant that extension back in
Very generous
2023.
then, I think.
Yes, yes, I know originally you didn't want to grant it, but you were kind enough to grant another extension. So then my client starts pursuing, goes down the path of the subdivision. He has to make a subdivision application to the planning board of the town and to Suffolk County Department of Health Services. He needs to obtain updated surveys, a new environmental assessment form, other information. Took time to compile, and then while we were going down that path and going through that process, we realized that, hey, the ZBA expired again, and then we wanted to request another extension, and then we were told, like, you're not going to get an extension, you have to start all over. So we are here starting all over. So the 2 parcels that are before you seek, at least the northern parcel seeks the exact same relief that was granted in 2020. And then on the southern parcel, we're seeking relief to build the new structure. The Munoz family that owns the parcel to the north is amenable to removing some of the concrete patio that was mentioned in the planning staff memo. And that patio was a slab, I was told, of what was a garage at one time. The building was knocked down. It's just a slab. That slab actually encroaches onto the southern parcel. So that's another problem. So they're going to just cut that back and try to comply with the planning memo. I was advised by counsel to the Munoz family that his clients have no objection to the conditions and the covenants and restrictions that were set forth in the planning memo. And then the variances relating to the southern lot were also the same as the variances that were granted by this board in 2020, but only as it relates to the lot, because there was no house proposed in 2020 on the southern lot. So the one new variance that's needed for the southern lot has to do with the rear yard setback, and so that's a new request. And my client is actually looking now to diminish, well, there was variances to diminish the rear yard from 40 feet to 17.5 to accommodate the placement of this new 2-story residence. But he is willing to try to redesign the dwelling to provide a greater rear yard setback, as was mentioned in the memo. So he's going to try to make that work. I think he can bring the building a little bit forward. And then he's also willing to relocate the egress window well that was mentioned, possibly to the side yard, or maybe leave it if he's able to move the house further towards Johnson Street so that he's not encroaching into the rear yard setback. So he's willing to work that out. And then last but not least, he is also willing to, has no objection to the recommended conditions, covenants, and restrictions that were mentioned in the memo. So what I'm asking tonight is, just in summary, is asking the board to kind of help us get out of a bad situation, try to clean up this mess that they were handed to them. But the mess, the mess is my client's mess, the 2 of them, but it's also in a way the town's mess, not caused by the town, but we have a single-family home that's on an illegal lot, and I can't reverse the situation, like 2 different people own it. So what we're hoping is that the board will grant the same relief, essentially, that it granted in 2020, and then allow us to move forward and complete the subdivision and kind of finalize what was intended 5 years ago. Nothing further. Thank you.
One question before I turn it over
Yes.
to Mr. Perotti. So the house on the southern lot, that's going to face that Johnson Street, I guess?
Yes, that's where the frontage is.
Turn the hearing over to Mr. Perotti. Sorry.
Yes.
How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Good presentation. You actually answered pretty much all my questions, but let's go
Thank
over
you.
it again just to confirm everything.
Sure.
One, I'll start off with both lots, your client agrees to the covenant restrictions, correct?
That's what yes.
Okay. Also, with that slab in the back, you're going to cut it back.
You're going to cut it back.
How many feet or how many percentage?
Well, cut it back as far as we need to cut it back. I mean, I think the Munoz family would like to, because I think they use it as a patio. Of course, it's too large and encroaches on the lot, so they'd like to cut it back, but I don't think they want to remove it.
Is there a number you have in mind, or? At least 2 feet.
Fine, fine. 2 feet so that it's
Yeah.
at least 2 feet from the property line?
So
Yes, that's fine.
2 feet, but you know how it's 17.5? Why not just make it 20 feet?
Well, that's the different one. That's the southern lot.
I apologize. Yeah, apologize. Yeah, I'm jumping ahead.
Okay.
I got mixed up a little bit. But yes, so at least 2 feet or a little bit more is fine.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. Go with that, right? Yeah.
4 or 5, maybe?
What's that?
4 or 5 feet
For which one?
for the lot 1 to cut back?
4 to 5 feet? Is that 5 feet off the property line? That's fine too. That's fine too. My client is telling me yes.
Okay.
So,
Also, you did answer the question as why there wasn't a follow-up on the subdivision, because that's the old owner. And you don't have the answers to that.
yeah.
All right, so then that finishes with lot 1. Now, lot 2, you also did agree to cut back the diminished rear yard setback from 40 to, what are you thinking?
Well, I don't know. If I can talk, like, the problem is we can move the house a little bit forward, but we might be able to also make the house a little bit narrower or not as deep. So I'm not sure exactly what that number will be. I mean, do you have a number in mind that you could live with, and then we'll try to make it work?
It's 17.5 now. Can you make it 20 feet?
Sure, I think that's fine. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, on the revised plans show that.
20 feet. Yep, not a problem.
Also, the road on Johnson Street, are you guys going to finish that road? Because,
He's going to have to improve it.
yeah,
Yes. Yes.
all right. And also, can you put the picture on? So you see over here, is this part of your property over here where all the vehicles are?
Yes.
So, and there's also, I drove.
Well, no, I don't know about the southern part. Wallach, do you want to come up? I'm sorry, Wallach Svalson, who's the principal of 360 Arkansas.
Name and address for the record, please.
My name is Walex Valsen, 233 Erlanger Boulevard, North Babylon, New York.
You affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, I do.
So you see in the picture over here, we see where these vehicles are. I drove by there earlier. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Is this your property or no? The arrow is?
There's a trailer.
Well, there's a trailer right near the fence, but do you see where the arrow is up there, where there's vehicles there and a whole bunch of stuff? Is that
I
your
don't know.
property?
I know the trailer that the former owner left it there.
Yes, a
But
trailer.
as far as these vehicles, I don't know. And if they are there without my permission, they'll be removed.
Okay, that's what I want to know.
Yeah,
That's what we're trying to figure out.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
When was the last time you were at the property?
I was there about 4 weeks ago.
So all that was there
You
today.
don't know if that was there 4 weeks ago?
I know the trailer is there, but I do not know about those vehicles over there.
I mean, that's from April.
The vehicles?
Trailer, you can see the cars, no?
No, I know the trailer's been there, but there was no vehicle there.
So, in
But I will
conclusion,
remove
you
them.
will remove them though,
But,
correct?
but you can
100%.
see actually from that image there, from the trailer north is his lot. So where the vehicles are not his lot.
They're
That's
not-
what I was trying to find
Yes,
out.
that's
So
what,
they're
yeah,
not-
I'm-
they're not
yeah,
me.
so
yeah, it's-
then that's not your property. That's
It's
not
not
where you
his.
guys going to be
No,
building.
77, where you have the 77 is not mine.
Okay, yeah, so where I was,
Go ahead.
Yeah,
the trailer is on your property, but you're going to
Correct.
remove that as well, and you're going to take care of
correct.
that. Okay, all right,
Thank you.
no problem. Thank you, that's all right.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I don't have any more questions. They agreed to all my questions, so I think they have the revised plans.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none.
Yes.
So we're going to close the hearing, we're going to reserve decision. We're going to hold the record open for new plans showing exactly, where the house is going to lay on that southern parcel. So, because then we're going to make sure the variances are correct,
That's
obviously.
fine. Yes.
All right.
Yes. I will get those to you. Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Okay, great.
Next application is application 25-191 of Lindenhurst Auto Collision, property located in Lindenhurst. Name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, Cole Gartmayer, Long Island Perfect Permits, 124 Front Street, Suite 205, Massapequa Park, New York, 11762.
And do you affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
Okay, for the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated November 5th, 2025, Environmental Control memo dated November 12th, 2025. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by Harold Bausch dated September 1st, 2000, tax map acting as an area map, and
Chairman, there's a site plan by Joe Bello dated, right here, February 26, 2000. Once again, that can't be right. It says 26. Yeah. There's no date that I see at the moment. There's also 5 photographs.
okay. What would you like to tell us about the application?
Yeah, so I also have some additional photograph packages I'd like to hand up to the board as well. So I believe it was submitted yesterday. I don't believe I have a hard copy in my file, but my understanding was submitted yesterday. Let me just confirm with my office. I believe it was dropped off.
We'll get back to you.
It was dropped off at 3 o'clock.
Okay, what would you like to tell us about that?
Yeah, so my clients took over this space in March of 2025 and opened North Star Auto Body. An applications were submitted to install new signs on the building and ground. Permits were granted for signs on the east and west walls and a ground sign, all under sign permit 24028. We're here tonight to request relief to increase the number of wall signs from 1 to 3 on the front or north side of the building. The variance application was submitted, included a plan of the proposed signs. We would also like, which I handed in already, the pictures of some other businesses along Route 109, across the street and in the vicinity of the property that have more than one sign installed. We feel that these proposed signs are not added character for the neighborhood, and I do believe the board had some questions regarding the existing North Star sign that's on the building, that the plan is for that to stay, and the addition of the star and then the auto body sign on the right-hand side, which are indicated on the drawings as well.
Okay, so that North Star sign exists, and you're just adding to that
Correct.
with a star?
the star, and then it says auto body on the other side.
Okay.
So when did your client purchase the property?
So they purchased it in, I believe, March of 2025. We had appeared before this board, I want to say last month, or it might have been late September. There was a little bit of lapse in the special use permit. That was unfortunately as a result of the change of ownership, hands, and everything along those lines. So once my client took it over, they, began going through the application, the tow application, and that was brought to their attention that it had expired. They, expeditiously went through the process to get it renewed.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. So I will make a motion to approve application 25-191 for a period of 2 years. That's going to coincide with the other approval.
Understood.
So, we'll come back at the same time. All in favor?
Understood. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening.
Next application is application 25-192 of South Shore Subaru, property located in Lindenhurst.
Didn't realize you guys were going that fast. Trying to catch up on emails.
Impossible.
It is impossible.
Name and address for the record, please.
For the applicant, John Farrow with the firm of Solomon Ward Braff Coscignano. Our offices are at 1300 Veterans Memorial Highway, Suite 100, Hauppauge, New York.
For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated November 5th, 2025, Environmental Control memo dated November 12th, 2025. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. Fire Marshal's report dated November 13th, 2025, has no objections. Surveyed by Barrett, Banucci, and Van Weel, dated August 13th, 2018. Tax map acting as an area map, and
Chairman, there's 7 photographs and a site plan by Bill O'Gara Group dated September 18, 2019.
would you like to tell us about the application?
Subject property is located on the south side of Sunrise Highway, 213.29 feet east of North Jefferson Avenue. It's pretty much right across the street from this facility. It's a little over an acre in size and is improved with a 20,000 square foot automobile service center for Subaru vehicles. In November 2017, the board granted an approval for a special permit for outdoor storage and a parking variance, and also two special permits, outdoor storage and for the automobile service center. The use has been in operation. It opened in August 2018 and has operated continuously since. We're here tonight seeking a renewal of the approval to operate the automobile service station and for the outdoor storage of oil tanks and tires. We were here about this time last year, and we were granted a renewal of the special permit, which had previously been granted for a period of 5 years. This time we were limited to a 1-year term because there was a delay in filing the renewal application. My client has 2 facilities, and just through, I guess, oversight with the paperwork, there was a delay in filing the renewal application. The site pretty much has operated the same since it opened. They did make some site plan modifications since the initial grant that the board gave them. It allowed for better site circulation, basically. I've reviewed the planning memo. There are some comments about the vehicle storage. It's an active site. Cars are constantly moving in and out. They store as much as they can inside. But sometimes vehicles have to be left outside and when they're in the process of being moved in and out of the facility. But generally, it's an excellent business for the town. It employs a number of people. I think there are over 60 employees at the facility. It improved the site that was run down and beat up, 2 old automobile service stations that were right next to each other. So we respectfully request that the board grant a renewal of the application, and we would request a 5-year term, mainly because shorter terms make it tougher with financing and things like that. When banks look at the zoning and they look at the approvals and they see that it's only approved for 1 year, it makes them hesitant to lend on good terms because they don't know that the approval is going to be renewed, no matter how much we assure them that the town is pretty consistent. Unless you're a really bad operator, they're going to allow you to continue. The banks don't want to hear that. They want to see it on paper. So I would just ask for a 5-year approval.
Okay, so there was 3 conditions imposed the last time around. Are you abiding by those conditions? Tractor-trailer car deliveries, vehicles on the site shall include not stopping in these vehicles along Sunrise Highway. We're not delivering vehicles on
Vehicles don't get delivered to this site. They get delivered to the facility just past the railroad tracks, the showroom.
Gotcha. There shall be no long-term outside storage of new vehicles at this site.
They don't store the new vehicles at this site. They store all their inventory at the showroom site.
And all on-site parking is to conform to the approved site plan and be located in marked parking stalls.
To my knowledge, they've allowed there's been some parking in drive aisles from time to time when they're overloaded, but it's not a consistent practice. I've been there in the last few months. I've been there 5 or 6 times, and I've never had an issue navigating the site or finding a parking space. So.
So I work behind DPW.
Mm-hmm.
I see it every single day. There's cars parked on the grass. There's cars parked in the road. There's cars parked all over the place.
Well, Sunrise Highway, you're allowed to park. I know that was an issue when they first opened. I don't think parking on the grass has been an issue. Okay. Okay. All right, like I said, I've been there a bunch of times. I haven't seen cars parked on the grass there.
Maybe at different times, in the mornings, maybe they're pulling cars out, but they are parking on the grass at this exact site.
Okay.
Like you said, it's right across.
No, I understand.
I can see it.
Okay.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. All right. We're going to clean up that issue with the parking on the grass and stuff? Get that
Yes, I'll talk to my client. Like I said, I haven't seen it when I've been there. I will make sure that he addresses it going forward with his staff.
All right. I'll make a motion to approve application 25-192 for a period of 5 years. Second. All in favor? With the conditions on the planning memo dated November 5th, 2025. All in favor? Okay.
Thank you very much.
Next application is application 25-190 of AQR Development Funding, LLC, property located in East Farmingdale. Name and address for the record, please.
Good evening. On behalf of the applicant, Matthew Ingber from the law firm of Sir Tillman, Ballin, Adler, and Hyman, 90 Merrick Avenue, East Meadow, New York, 11554.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated November 5th, 2025. Environmental control memo dated November 12th, 2025. Survey by Michael K. Wicks dated August 10th, 2023. Tax map acting as an area map. And
Mr. Chairman, there's 6 photographs, site plan by Island Structures Engineer, dated September 22nd, 2025.
okay.
Oh, sure, thank you.
Would you like to tell us about the application?
Yes. So this application seeks a renewal of a special exception permit for the retail cannabis dispensary operating as Planet Nug at the property at 2043 Wellwood Avenue in East Farmingdale. The application also seeks a parking variance and approval to allow for overnight storage of delivery vehicles at the property. For the record, we would like to amend the application to reduce the size of the requested relief as follows. To diminish the off-street parking from 58 stalls to 54 stalls, and to allow for 3 vehicles to be stored on site.
Overnight.
Yeah, correct. With me this evening, we have David Tubins, a representative of the applicant, as well as the project traffic engineer, Nicholas Tortorella, PE of Stonefield Engineering. A parking assessment report prepared by Stonefield Engineering and additional documents in support of the application were provided to the board. So, as a brief background, the property is located at 2043 Wellwood Avenue and is zoned in the GA Industry District. The subject property is improved with an 11,495 square foot, one-story building. The portion of the building, which consists of 4,404 square feet, is occupied by the Planet Nug facility. A public hearing before this board on the special exception permit application for the cannabis dispensary use was held on May 2nd of 2024 under ZBA case number 24-061. The special permit was granted by resolution dated May 16th of 2024. So we ask that the hearing record, testimony, and documents submitted in connection with ZBA case number 24-061 be incorporated into this evening's record. In regard to the renewal request, the property is being used in compliance with the terms of the May 16th, 2024 special permit, and the retail cannabis dispensary complies with the provisions of Town Code Section 213-166.3. In response to the Planning Department's pre-hearing report, a certificate of occupancy was issued for a 4,404 square foot dispensary, and there has been no further expansion. And as indicated on the site plan that's before the board this evening, the Planet Nug facility continues to occupy the same 4,404 square feet of the building. As previously noted, a 4-stall parking variance is requested as the applicant seeks to provide overnight outdoor storage for 3 delivery vehicles. As will be more fully discussed by the project traffic expert, the requested 54-stall parking supply is anticipated to accommodate peak parking demand at the site. We note that the board has granted parking variance relief for other retail cannabis dispensaries. Some of the cases were submitted as part of my pre-hearing submission, but for example, in the matter of Strain Stars LLC, for the dispensary at 1815 Broad Hollow Road, a parking variance was granted as part of the expansion of an existing cannabis dispensary. And more recently, on June 25th of this year, in application number 25-076, a parking variance was granted to allow 8 on-site stalls, where 15 was required in the matter of DJF Unlimited LLC. And that's for the property at 1288 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon. The applicant has reviewed the planning staff's recommended conditions of approval, and we have one comment regarding the hours of operation. So the 2024 special permit allows the site to operate on Monday through Saturday between the hours of 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. and on Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. These hours are stricter than the hours of operation that have been approved by this board for other cannabis dispensaries. So what we were asked that the special permit condition be modified to allow the site to operate consistent with other facilities with the hours of on Monday through Saturday between the hours of 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and on Sunday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. The pre-hearing submission includes a chart showing the hours of operation for the subject site as well as 3 other cannabis dispensaries. So just for example, the site at 1228 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, which is approximately 3 miles south of the subject site, is permitted to operate from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. on Monday through Saturday, and can operate from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Sunday. These same hours of operation are also provided in the Strange Stars LLC, which is the dispensary at 1815 Broad Hollow Road in Farmingdale, as well as the dispensary at 880 Grand Boulevard in Deer Park. So with that, I would now like to call Mr. Tortorello, who will further discuss the parking study that he prepared for this application.
Name and address for the record, please.
Yes, good evening, Chairman, members of the board. For the record, my name is Nicholas Tortorella, spelled T-O-R-T-O-R-E-L-L-A. I'm a licensed professional engineer in the state of New York and a traffic and transportation engineering project manager with Stonefield Engineering and Design, 584 Broadway, Suite 310 in Manhattan.
You affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, sir. Right, so our subject property is located at 2043 Wellwood Avenue, west side of the roadway, designated as Suffolk County Route 3, opposite side of the cemetery, as we can see on the screen behind you, and just about 200 feet south of the signalized intersection with Central Avenue. Access to our site is currently provided via one full movement driveway on Wellwood Avenue, as well as cross access to the adjacent commercial property to the north, which provides additional access to Central Avenue and that signalized intersection with Wellwood Avenue at the northeast corner. Our site currently contains, as Mr. Ingber said, an 11,495 square foot commercial building, inclusive of that 4,404 square foot Planet Nug retail cannabis dispensary, a 1,880 square foot locksmith's office with associated back of house storage space, and approximately 5,211 total square feet of combination office and back of house storage space split between 2 tenant spaces. Our existing building is supported by 57 total on-site parking spaces, inclusive of 3 ADA spaces and 5 spaces in the southwest corner of the property that are designated for employees of the existing commercial building. We are before the board this evening effectively seeking approval to designate 3 of the 57 total existing on-site spaces for overnight vehicle storage. That is the reason that we are also seeking the parking variance from 58 required to 54 proposed, because we have 57 total existing. Take out the 3 that are designated for overnight storage, and the code treats the remaining 54 as our effective parking supply. The 3 vehicles that would use the overnight vehicle storage spaces are 1 commercial van for the locksmith tenant, which would be off-site throughout the day, conducting repairs and installations for customers in the area, as well as 2 passenger car delivery vehicles for the Planet Nug retail dispensary, which would also be off-site throughout the day, conducting deliveries for their customers. During the peak operating hours for the site, let's call it 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., these 3 vehicles would rarely be on the site. If needed, they would stop back quickly to pick up materials for the repair or installations or for their deliveries to customers in the area, and they would quickly be back out driving throughout the area to these customer locations. So during these peak hours, again, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., there would effectively be no change to the site's existing parking supply. The 57 existing spaces would be available for use by customers of the commercial building and employees who do not park in those 5 designated spaces. My office conducted parking utilization counts at the site on a typical weekday, which showed that the peak parking utilization when the vehicles would be stored on site, 7 p.m. overnight to the 11 a.m. hour, was only 35 parked cars, which occurred during the 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. hour. So at that peak utilization, even if the designated overnight vehicle storage spaces were occupied, approximately 1/3 of the parking lot would remain available, which equates to 19 available spaces. And all of this is really just to say that designating these 3 existing parking spaces in the northwest corner of the property for overnight vehicle storage will not materially change the site's existing parking utilization conditions, specifically during the peak periods during the day, nor will these overnight vehicle storage spaces result in a parking shortfall on the subject site or in the surrounding area. Happy to field any questions if the board has it.
Any questions from the board?
Yeah, I have. What are we installing and repairing?
The locksmith. I was just saying the vehicle, the commercial vehicle for the locksmith is traveling in the area for locksmith operations. My understanding of a locksmith is that they repair and install locks.
Any other questions from the board? Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
So with that, that concludes our presentation, and we are available to answer any questions that the board may have.
I have questions and comments. You're asking us to relax the hours of operation, yet you had 4 different summonses for things that you shouldn't have been doing at the site.
Right, two active, right, there's 2 active. The one, the summons that was issued was paid for, it's matters disposed.
Not the point. I understand that it was paid for and stuff, but why was that happening?
Well, one was for a outdoor event they had. They
You
under,
understand when we granted you the approval, the outdoor events and all of these things were not permitted.
understood.
So, again, why was it happening?
The operator didn't realize that was deemed an outdoor event, and since he's been issued the summons, he has not had one again.
Also, I think when you came here originally, the original occupancy, the square footage was 3680.
There was a discrepancy which we discussed with ZBA council. I'm not sure where that 3,800 came from, but the certificate of occupancy for the dispensary matches the 4,004 square feet.
So that's what it is, and that's
Correct.
4,004. Okay. Yeah, the alien flag hanging on the front of the building, alien-shaped banner.
It's been taken down.
What is that? An al-
Just a big blow up alien in front?
Oh, no, that
You took it
ain't-
down, right?
That's what it is.
It's like the waiver?
Yeah.
What about?
You took it down, right?
It was still up. It's up.
Well, they got the memo, they under the comment in the planning staff memo, so they know that it can't stay there.
You also know that we can't have off-site advertising,
Correct.
correct?
And they received a summons for that. Yeah, they're aware.
Summons and pay for it, but you can't.
Understood. Understood.
So, thank you, if you don't mind. There'll be 2 delivery vehicles?
One is for the locksmith, 2 would be for the Planet Nug.
There'll be no product left in the vehicles overnight?
Absolutely not, yeah.
No, no product will be left in the vehicles overnight.
Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none.
Sure. And in my pre-hearing submission, I had the hours of operation were noted in those 3 facilities that I referenced in my testimony.
Okay, we're going to close the hearing. We're going to reserve decision. You'll get the decision in the mail. Thanks for coming down.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I'll amend application 25-190 to diminish off-street parking from 58 spaces to 54 spaces, and to allow overnight storage of delivery vehicle as per the site plan, and that will be for 3 vehicles. Favor?
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Next application is application 25-181 of Lucy and George Klambacher, property located in West Babylon. Name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Mary Riley, president of the firm Ione Renaissance Associates, located at 732 Smithtown Bypass, Smithtown, New York. I represent the homeowners Lucille and George Klambacher of 690 Outlook Avenue, West Babylon. The property is located in a Residence C zone. We are before you this evening requesting
Hold on 1 second.
Go ahead.
Oh, do you affirm to tell the truth?
Of course.
Okay. And for the record, we have a planning division memo dated October 10th, 2025. Environmental control memo dated October 21st, 2025. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by Donald Mom dated November 8th, 2024. Tax map acting as an area map, and
Mr. Chairman, we have 15 photographs. Side by Regina Lento dated February 21st, 2025.
okay. What would you like to tell us? I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine, thank you. We're requesting variances for the front yard setback for an existing egress window. 30-foot required, 23.75-foot existing, and to keep the egress in the front yard, which is a non-permitted location. Requesting permission to reduce the patio distance on the west side from 2 feet to .02 feet, and permission to reduce the distance to Lennox Road on the west. Lennox Road is a paper street, unopened, from 40 feet to 11.7 feet in order to maintain the existing shed, and from 30 feet to 22 feet to maintain an existing deck. As stated, we have submitted photographs of the items that we are requesting relief for, and I have photos as well of the front of the house showing where that egress window is located. Regarding the egress window located in the front yard, the owner had located it there because it was the only place it could be installed without interference. So this existing sewer line runs out the back of the house, across and then down the east side. And then on the rest of the rear and the west side is concrete pavings, patios, and decks. So the primary dwelling is currently in a non-compliant location with a 26.95 setback off of Outlook and a 22.36-foot setback off of Lennox. Also, the planning memo states that there is new egress shown on the plans, and that interpretation is incorrect, as this is a maintain application only. We're not adding any new structures. The shed and the deck are in non-compliance with an unopened paper road and are otherwise located compliantly on the property. The patio is at grade level and is not intrusive upon any neighboring houses. The Klambacher's home is located on a street with variously sized and situated homes, and with properties of all different sizes with all different front yard setbacks. Many of the homes are closer to the street at their front yard than my clients', as this is an older neighborhood. They have lived in this house for decades, raising their family here, and have been a welcome part of their community. And to our knowledge, none of the neighbors have had any issues with the items before you this evening. We believe this is not a substantial request of the board and will not have any adverse effect on the neighborhood. We would respectfully ask the board to grant our request to maintain the egress window, the patio deck and sheds, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you guys may have for me.
Thank you. Turn the hearing over to Mr. Shepherd.
Good, how are you?
So there's no other viable place for this egress window?
It's already there, and there is not. If you look on the survey, you can see the driveway has concrete along the side, and we've got a sewer line that exits out the back and then turns around toward the front.
You read the planning memo?
I have. It is. I have photos. If you'd like to see them, I'd be happy. Okay. Yes.
You also agree with the front deck not being closed?
Of course.
And if the shed is ever in disrepair, taken down, put back in the ground?
Absolutely.
I have no further questions, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none.
Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve application 25-181 with the conditions noted on the planning memo.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you. Next application is application 25-184 of Cosmos Service Center, property located in West Babylon.
Good evening, Board.
Name and address for the record, please.
Jesse Hipsch, and address is 7 Woodhollow Court, Medford, New York.
Do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, I do.
For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated October 24, 2025, Environmental Control memo dated October 29, 2025. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A fire marshal's report dated October 30th, 2025, has a valid permit. Tax map acting as an area map, and
Chairman, there's 5 photographs in the site plan by Harold Gebhardt dated May 14, 2024.
would you like to tell us about the application?
Just looking to renew special exception to operate a public repair garage and diminish the off-street parking from 11 spaces to 11 required to 7, and allow the renewal for these 4 vehicles to be stored outside overnight.
Okay, turn the hearing over to Mr. Shepherd.
Good, how are you?
There's a lot of, you're right up against a residential neighborhood. Are there any of the parking or the cars that are out on the street? You don't park any, you park any cars on the street?
No, no. No, if that across the way, that triangle across the way, there's a lot of activity. There's actually a car parked there now. They've been parking stuff up and down the road with no plates and stuff. And sometimes that may appear to be from us, but they use the street for parking.
It's not yours, though?
No.
And you agree to the previously imposed covenants and restrictions?
Absolutely.
For auto repair?
Yes.
And business is good?
Yeah, it's okay. It's
It's clean, it looks good.
yeah, we try our best to keep it neat, nice and neat.
I have no further questions, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none.
Just, you're a little bit late. Make sure you're a little bit
Yes,
early.
I'm sorry. Yes, absolutely.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve application 25-184 for a period of 3 years.
Second.
All in favor? Okay.
Thank you.
Good
Thank you,
luck.
everybody. Have a great night.
You too.
Appreciate it.
That ends the live